Hello everybody and welcome back to Potion Craft. As always, I am Dor, and today we're going to go ahead and finish off the game, I believe. So we only have a couple more quests in this chapter to go ahead and do, and then on the final chapter we only have 4 quests. So as long as those aren't super complicated, we should be completing the game today at some point. So I already have the stuff to go ahead and make the next crystal and the life salt as well. So let's go ahead and jump on down to our little alchemy station thing, and let's get our potions going into the correct flasks and stuff. So I should be able to go ahead and make 2 of these. I have enough potions for 2 of them, and then I have all the potions for 1 of these. So I'm not going to make both of the red crystals right off the bat, just in case we don't need it for this one when we get it, the Philosopher's Stone here. But let me go ahead and throw all the potions into their flasks, and we can go ahead and make one of these red ones really quick. So before we go ahead and pull the lever, I just want to go ahead and double check and make sure that they're all green check marks, because we really don't have the ingredients to be messing this up again. So it looks like everything's good. Let's go ahead and pull the lever, and there we go. We just got our first little crystal there. So now we have the Philosopher's Stone available, and we are going to need a red crystal for that as well. Okay, so I don't have any of these recipes saved, so let me very quickly go ahead and remake another one of these, because I have the stuff to go ahead and do that. So let me go ahead and get the other red one going, because we can also go ahead and make the life salt here in a second. So let me get the secondary red one going. Okay, so I have all the potions in there to go ahead and make the life salt. So once again, let's go ahead and pull that lever, and we should have another one of the little container looking things like we have with the void salt thing that we made a while ago. And there we go. It's actually not a little container thing. It's just straight up little thing of salt on the ground. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab that as well. Oh, never mind. I did throw it into one of those. Huh. Okay, so what does this do? Restores the health of a potion. Ooh, I bet that would have come in handy every time I had to go into the necromancy thing, because this was the most annoying potion we had to keep doing. Every time we would go through this, I would go in it wrong and cross over this little bit of it, and it would kill the potion over and over again. So I had to redo the necromancy one a lot there. Even though we didn't have that many potions that required it, I just kept failing on that potion in particular there. But anyways, let me go ahead and see if we're able to actually make the Philosopher's Stone here. So if we open this thing back up, what was the recipes exactly? Do we have any luck here in potentially having any of these saved? I don't think we do, honestly. I think we might have this one, Growth 3... and fast growth and a healing potion. I think we might have that one. We do not currently have that potion. The closest thing we have is going to be this one with a double single instead of the triple single that we needed for the recipe here. And we also didn't get lucky with any of these potions either, because on the other ones we usually had just like a gimme potion, which was just a tier 3 potion that we had already in our book for most of these, like the necromancy, and then on the life salt we had the healing potion. We didn't exactly get that this time around with the Philosopher's Stone here, so we have to go ahead and make all of these potions. We got to make 12 of them, and currently we only have 3 empty pieces of paper in our book, so we need to go ahead and buy more sheets from people as they come through our store, and we're also going to need to buy more ingredients, because I am running really low on stuff again. Some stuff I have 100 of, some stuff I just don't have any of, because I use it so frequently in our potions here. So I'm kind of running into an issue where I can't actually make stuff. But all we need is the Philosopher's Stone to go ahead and complete this chapter. So let me go ahead and actually upgrade our skills first. So we can go ahead and fully upgrade one of these, because we have the 6 points. So we can either complete our trading thing, our haggling thing, or our alchemy practice. I think I'm going to go ahead and fully upgrade our trading, because I don't know if that's going to affect how much stuff the merchants carry on them when they sell. But if it does, then that's great. If not, then I guess it's not really that big of an issue. We just wasted 6 points on that. We can go ahead and complete the other XP things here soon, I think. But let's go ahead and see who we have as our first customer. Hopefully this guy has some papers. This is usually one of the guys that sells them. He has 15 of them. Okay, that's exactly what we need. I'm not even going to haggle on the amount that we need from him. I'm just going to buy the full 15, because we have 11,000 in our wallet. So, I mean, let's go ahead and take that for 900 bucks. Cool for us. Now we should have all the papers we need to go ahead and build the Philosopher's Stone here. So where did those all go? They went all over the place. Okay, let me rearrange some of these. I'm just going to go ahead and scoot everything around. And then I'm also going to go ahead and try to make all of the recipes right now. as well, if we can go ahead and get away with it with what we have. I might also progress the days as well, because we're probably going to need ingredients, and we need to go ahead and have the merchants and stuff cycle through so we can go ahead and make these all today as well. So let me go ahead and get all that stuff squared away here, and then we should be able to go ahead and make the Philosopher's Stone here in just a second. Well, we got all the potions made for the Philosopher's Stone here, so let's go ahead and pull the lever. We're going to go ahead and make this and complete the chapter as well. Now, if this for some reason messes up, I don't have the stuff to actually make those potions again. For I think 2 or 3 of them, I ended up using all of the healing powder stuff that we just made a second ago. So this stuff over here, we are completely out of, and the reason for that is on the necromancy potions. If I open that back up and hop over here, I went ahead and made a tier 3 one kind of on its own. So I went to this one here. This was our tier 3 one. And then from there, I decided to go and build our way directly out of it from the skull and stuff. So I wasted, I think it was almost 1,000 of that powder just getting it out of this thing the first time, and then I ended up failing it and not saving a recipe, or I saved the recipe and then ended up failing it, so I wasn't able to make it again. So then I did it again, but instead of going through this layer of skulls and that layer of skulls, I only went out of this layer, and then I worked my way back around this little slot of openness, and then I went through this little entrance and almost died on that as well. So a few of these things have some of that health powder in them. If I could remember, it's probably these ones here, right? Yeah, this one has 244 in it, and this one has 244 as well. Oh, that's because they start off from this guy over here. So I didn't use any more in them. I think I also used it in another one as well. Yeah, this guy here. This guy has 610 in it, and I think that's where all the powder pretty much went to. I don't have the other potions saved anymore that I messed up and ended up deleting. I also went ahead and used a lot of this stuff in this recipe here because I forgot to go in a direction or something. I don't remember why, but I used 700 of that apparently in this potion, and I think that's it. So we still have some of that. This isn't really all that useful in all honesty. I don't really know what you would use that for, but the health potion thing came in handy a lot, especially with this necromancy thing, just trying to cheese it so we don't have to waste so many ingredients working our way around that way. The one thing I will say that I don't really like is that you can't control how much of the stuff you put into it. So like once you put it over the top of the cauldron, it just starts pouring, and you can't like shake it to get like maybe 1 or 2 in there to get us a little bit further back or give us a little bit of health. It just pours and pours and pours, and if you're not careful, you can pour the whole thing in there, it looks like. So let's go ahead and upgrade our skill at least before we go ahead and see what the new challenges are for the next chapter. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do the haggling. I feel like that's going to be a little more important. I think we get better prices if we haggle. We're really not going to haggle anybody anymore because we don't need the money for anything at the moment. But let's go ahead and jump on over to the challenges and see what we need to go ahead and do now. So we need to reach a popularity level of 15. And we are currently at 11, so I don't think we're going to do that today, in all honesty. That's probably not going to happen. We need to save up 50,000 gold. That is not going to happen either. We might go up maybe 15 to 20,000, or we might get up to 15 to 20,000 depending on how much we haggle the prices for these people right now. So I'm not quite sure about that. We need to collect a total of 100 recipe pages. So I have no idea how many we have right now, but we have a lot. I don't think it's close to 100, but we have a lot of them nonetheless. And we also need to reach level 60. So we are close to that. We need, what, 7 levels to get there? So we can probably do that one at least. And maybe the pages as well. It kind of just depends on how many people come through the store that we can buy from. But I mean, all we really have left to do is pretty much just that. And we can kind of get some of them done. This guy has 14 pages. We're just going to go ahead and buy all of them and haggle the pricing way down. So let's see how low we can get that. 385 gold for 14 of them, not too bad. But I think getting our reputation, or our popularity rather, all the way up to 15, I don't think that'll happen today at all. No matter how good we do this, because it doesn't give us that many points per potion we sell, and it also needs 400 points to rank up to level 12, and I think it increases 100 points every time you level up, so it's going to take us quite some time to get there. But we need to go ahead and give this lady a mana potion, so we can go ahead and move these pages a little bit, because we just pretty much need to access this top row and a little bit on the right row here. Everything else is a potion going to one of the stones that we can go ahead and craft. So we need a mana potion for this lady. Let's go ahead and get that together. And let's go back to that screen, give her this. We can go ahead and haggle the price a little bit. And we're getting 203 gold for that, so that's not too bad. When we only went up 2 of the popularity points. So I think if we don't haggle, we get 3 points per transaction, and if we haggle, we get 2, I believe. So this guy wants a fire potion to go ahead and toss into a monster lair, and we can go ahead and just see if that's going to be the case. If we don't haggle and we just trade it, we do get 3 points instead of just the 2, but we don't get enough gold, or we don't get any extra gold by not haggling. So if we want to complete the 50,000, which is way out there, that's not going to help us any. We are going to try to just go ahead and do the popularity one and the level 60 one and the collect 100 pages. I don't know about the gold one right now, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and just trade this guy what he wants. We need to go ahead and give him a sleeping potion because he can't sleep at night. So let's go ahead and do that. 140 gold, 3 more points, 99 out of 400. We are going to be trading for quite some time here. So I made a decent stab at some of these challenges here. We're almost at the money one. We're at 36,000 right now. We are about to complete the paper one. So we don't need all 13 of these. I think we only need 4 or 5 of them, and that completes the recipe pages that we needed for the 100. So let's go ahead and haggle that price down. I went ahead and got the skill points to fully upgrade our haggling to the max it'll go. So right now we're going to see how much this is going to drop down to. And I think 650 is as low as it's going to go. It wasn't moving anymore from that. So it would normally be 1,300 gold since it's not a discounted price, and we got it down to 650, so we cut it in half pretty much. So that's not too bad here. And that should have completed this challenge, although it didn't. So collect 100 total recipes in the recipe book. Does it want me to save 100 of these pages and not just have them in our booklet here? Because if we go over to this, we have 59 empty pages in our book, and then we have, I think, like 40 recipes or something saved already. Let me see if that's what it wants, because I'm almost certain we have 100 pages already now that we just bought the 15 or whatever we just bought from that guy, 13 that we bought from the guy. So I'm gonna, just to be safe, I'm gonna make it a tier 1 potion on as many of these things that I can. And then we'll see if that triggers that challenge. And as we're doing this as well, we're going to get XP, so maybe we'll hit 60. I doubt that as well. But we're going to go ahead and do that right now. We're going to make a bunch of tier 1 stuff that is useless, but it's going to at least maybe count toward the thing. So I actually wanted to go ahead and double check and make sure that we had enough pages before we even started messing with more potions, just in case we were just going to kind of burn some time here. But I went ahead and counted everything, and each of these little pages or little tabs that have a little icon on them, each one of those is 1 recipe, and we have 81 of those in our book right now. So we have an extra 59 pages according to the save recipe tab thing right here. So we should have 140 pieces of paper in our booklet already. So that means we have to actually make the recipes, at least 100 recipes. So we only need, what is that, 19 of them to go ahead and get 100. So that's not too bad to go ahead and do. And we can actually do multiple recipes off of one thing. I don't know if it's actually going to matter how we save the recipe. Like, I don't know if we can just throw this in there and then grind it up and then save that as a recipe. I don't know if that's going to count, or if it actually wants us to make it into a potion itself. So all I'm going to do is do that, save the recipe. I'm going to throw something else in there and save the recipe. I'm just going to do that over and over again until we hit the 19. And then eventually, if this doesn't work, then we have to go through and delete these ones and actually make them into something that is an actual recipe, and then do that for 19 of these things, which isn't going to be that big of a deal. That there's a lot of them that are really close by and are really easy to go ahead and just craft together here. But let's go ahead and throw that in there. Let's go ahead and throw one of these guys in there. I guess we don't really need to be mixing them up like this. We can just throw whatever we don't use the most of, which I think is probably, what do I have a lot of that I don't need? Probably these guys, honestly, these purple ones. I don't really use those for really anything. It's in a few recipes, but it's not in that many recipes. Let's just bounce between these 2 guys, I guess. And eventually, this will go ahead and hit 19. I think we had 59 to start with, so when this gets down to 40, we should have the recipe thing done. I hope. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and do a couple more here, and this should be the last one right there, and that indeed completed the challenge for us. Okay, so that wasn't too bad here. I misread that and then wasted a bunch of money on paper that we definitely didn't need. And let's see, before we actually save that recipe out, we can go ahead and stir it just a little bit. We can go ahead and grab a couple things of XP, I guess one thing of XP, two things of XP. We're not going to be able to live through that. It's just going to go ahead and kill us. So let's go ahead and do that. Not a big deal. And I think that's honestly where we're probably going to go ahead and call it a series, because we are going to need a grind for a little while longer to get to the 50,000, which I don't have the time right now to go ahead and do actually. We are not going to hit popularity of 15 for a little while. It didn't jump up 200 points like I thought it did. It only jumped up 150 points every time you level it up. So that's doable, but it's going to take a while, and that might honestly be the very last thing. If we were to go ahead and continue on with this, that would probably be the last thing we do, because as long as we have the ingredients, we can keep climbing that. As soon as we run out of ingredients and we can't make potions, then that number starts taking a hit and we start losing popularity. I think we might have been really close to it had I not wasted so many ingredients early on. I think we would be probably around 13 or 14 if I had stockpiled ingredients earlier and try to make potions a little bit better. We probably would have been closer to this than we are right now. The level thing as well, that is another thing that we would probably, to do this a lot quicker other than what we're doing right now, which is just selling potions and harvesting our garden, is pretty much the only way we are making XP. But a better way would probably be to have the ingredients on hand to just make like a snake line through as much of the XP bubbles as we can, so we can go ahead and get a lot of this over and over again every day, because all of these green ones reset in different areas throughout the sleeping cycle, the day here. So that would also be a good way to go ahead and get a bunch of XP. But I think that is going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.